La 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 la. Mm-hmm. 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 जीना यहाँ मरना कहाँ. Mm-hmm. 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 I wandered lonely as a cloud, also sometimes called as daffodils. William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of dancing daffodils. Along the lake, beneath the trees, 10,000 dancing in the breeze. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but the gay in such a laughing company. I gazed and gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth to show me had bought. For often when on my couch I lay in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is a bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Daffodils, the daffodils, 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 daffodils. Daffodils, 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 daffodils. daffodils, where are you? Hello guys. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of dancing daffodils. Along the lake, beneath the trees, 10,000 dancing in the breeze. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in the gay. Guys, this is from Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I think no one is there on chat. So let everyone comes to the chat and we'll make the chat more flowing daffodils in the hills and trees wherever you go for the. So William Wordsworth was a very well known poet of times. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a laughing company. I gazed and gazed, I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. It's a very touching poem by William Wordsworth. So daffodils means you guys have been seen a yellow color flower which pops up mostly. I used to see this thing, it's called as wallflower. It should be, it should say, or normally we see it as on the, where we call it as the side wall of houses, or the boundary walls. Boundary walls, sometimes boundary walls, if not cleaned very often, there is a kind of, you say, like forest type of greeny leaves blushed. A kind of root will enlarge onto the top of the walls. The separation wall, or when two or three houses are around in the same area, so the boundary of a house is separated by a wall. On these walls, I have seen many type of daffodils. Mostly the daffodils are in yellow color. So kind of daffodils also in a golden yellowish color. So our poet William Wordsworth is explaining the beauty of this flower. It's not a flower actually. It's like a kind of plastic or a kind of paper flower, we can say. Very lightweighted, not the bougainvillea type. This is I don't know how to explain this stuff actually. It's called daffodils. Maybe you have seen daffodils. Daffodils, daffodils, daffodils. So let me explain you the daffodils. Daffodils, daffodils. Okay. It's actually my gym time, so I can spare a half an hour for you guys. No problem. Let's go. Okay, be here. Darkness is always better than the lightness of. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll take the daffodils. So the version published in 1807, poems in 2 volumes of Fran. So I'll make a short summary of the poet and the things. So, Daffodils is the short name of this poem by Wordsworth. Actually, the full name of the poem is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. It's the name of the poem. So it's referred as Daffodils famously because this is one of the classic of Wordsworth poems. It's a lyric poem by William Wordsworth. It is one of his most popular and was inspired by an encounter on 15th April 1800 during a walk with his younger sister Dorothy. So William Wordsworth was walking with his younger sister Dorothy when they saw a long belt of daffodils. So they were on an evening walk, we can say. So they found a long stretch of daffodils nearby. Okay. So it goes like this. On the shore of Ulswater in English Lake District. It was written in 1800. 24-line lyric was first published in 1807 in 2 volumes. So let's go directly to the poem. It goes like this. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of dancing daffodils. Along the lake, beneath the trees, 10,000 dancing in a breeze. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a laughing company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had bought. For oft when on my couch I lay in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is a bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Actually, Wordsworth revised the poem in 1815. He replaced dancing with the golden along with beside and 10,000 with flirting hint. Then he added a stanza between the first and second and changed the laughing to jocund. The last stanza was left untouched. So there is a modified version. We can say there is a modified version of, now we say the pro version of everything. They have actually modified these daffodils. The poet himself, what was his name? Yeah, William Wordsworth. He himself modified the poem in the last session. Like, they updated this one. So I will read the updated version for you guys. This goes like that. Let me have a rewind revision of this. So some of the stanza was updated later on and be on the beneath of Wordsworth. It goes like this. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high oval vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line. Along the margin of a bay, 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in the glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For often when on my couch I lay, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So the theme and composition, maybe it's not a easy English we say, actually a poet of, we say, 18th century, and the grammatical use of poet in this poem is very complex, because the poet says in the second stanza that 10,000 saw I at a glance. It's a dramatically, you'll say it's a bullshit sentence, because he used 10,000 saw I at a glance. Never can be used that stands on that line. So it's a 24 line long, consisting of 4 6 line stanzas. Each stanza is formed by a quatrain, then a couplet to form a sestet and ABCC rhyme scheme. Like most of the works by Wordsworth, it's a romantic in nature. William Wordsworth, he was known as a romantic poet actually. He was romantic in nature, the beauty of nature, the unkempt by humanity, and the reconciliation of man with his environment. The two fundamental principles of romantic movement within poetry. The poem is littered with emotionally strong words such as golden, dancing, and the bliss. So if you try to find the grammatic sentence in a poem, you'll be like, most of you will be baffled. It's not easy to do that. So the plot of poem is very simple. Wordsworth believed it an elementary feeling and simple impression. One day this poet Wordsworth was walking with his sister, and he found it like a group of daffodils he found on the stage, on the way. The speaker is wandering as if among the clouds, viewing a belt of daffodils next to a lake whose beauty is overshadowed. The reversal of usual syntax in phrases, particularly 10,000 saw I at a glance. So if we discuss this one stanza of the poem simply, you will get know that it's grammatically a pathetic sentence. But the same time, if we say poetically, or if you say it's like traditional way of poems, Wordsworth tried to build a new era of poetry. So the beauty of normal sentence is I saw a 10,000 at a glance, or at a glance I saw a 10,000. So he reversed the complete sentence, like 10,000 saw I at a glance is used as a part of foregrounding for emphasize loneliness. It seems is only a human emotion, unlike the mere solitariness of the cloud. In the second and third verses, the memory of the daffodils is given permanence, particularly through comparison of the stars, that is an contrast to the transitory nature of life examined in other works. In the last stanza, when we coming to, it is revealed that is a scene is only a memory of the pensive speaker. This is marked by a change from the narrative past tense to the present, as a conclusion to a sense of movement within poem. Passive to action movement, from sadness to blissfulness, the scene of the last verse mirror the reader's situation as they take in the poem. Like the maiden song in the Solitary Reaper, the memory of daffodils is etched in the speaker's mind and sought to be cherished forever. When he feeling lonely, dull or depressed, he thinks of the daffodils and cheers up. The poet, when he is himself is weak or he is in a state of depression, he see daffodils and he start his mind to be happy. So in the memory of daffodils is each the speaker's mind and soul to be cherished forever. When he feels he's feeling loneliness, dull or depressed, he thinks of the daffodils and cheers up. The full impact of the daffodils' beauty, symbolizing the nature, beauty of the nature, did not strike him in the moment of seeing them. When he stared blankly at them, but later when he sat alone and sad and lonely and remembered them. Actually, the personification is used within the poem, particularly with regards to the flowers themselves, and the whole passage consists of images appearing within the mind of the poet. It's a bit of complex poem. The poem is very simple. Actually, the plot of the poem is very simple, but the poet is very, very elaborated. So this Wordsworth is not a man of simpleness. He says that the poem is very simple and is a simple expression of his beauty to daffodils. So, but the words used and the inner meaning of the poem is very complex. So we have read before same Wordsworth another poem. It's called the Solitary Reaper. Solitary Reaper. So okay guys, we'll discuss about Solitary Reaper in the next live. Okay, so very good night for all my friends. It's time to go to bed. I suppose all of you are planning to sleep. And let me go to my gym and do some exercises for you guys. Okay, bye. Take care. Salam. Bye.